Welcome back, and I'm glad you joined us. We're going to continue to talk with Brenda Coates and Rachel Parker, and we are talking about their lives in terms of their start of their lives and what motivated them and how they happen to be in the positions that they're in. Let me ask the two of you, can you identify any one person or a group of people who might have inspired you to be whatever you have become in life, or a situation or a circumstance? The two of you are too young to remember the civil rights movement as such, but I know that's one of the things that inspired me, and that's why I have never missed voting, because it wasn't long ago we had Bloody Sunday, where individuals marched from Selma to Montgomery on the Pettus Bridge, and the state troopers and others beat those individuals and put dogs on those individuals who wanted to vote, and that made it clear in my mind that when I got that chance to vote, I was going to exercise that. So I don't know whether there might have been something that you've seen or whether there were some individuals in your life that may have influenced you to either become serious about life or motivate you. Brenda?
Well, that's an easy one for me.
Okay.
That would be my mother.
Great.
Her name was Rutha. I remember when I was in high school, I was a junior in high school, and I had a desire to run for junior class president. And
okay.
I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to run because I thought, well, if I run and then I don't make it, or, you know, how's that going to look? And it was a little scary. And I remember having a conversation with her, and she gave me so much encouragement. She said, you know, don't worry about whether you are going to win or lose. Just campaign, just do your best, go out there with what you can do for the students. And I thought, yeah, I can do it. And she made me believe that I could do it. And I think because of her, I was able to do it. And I won the president campaign. And so I think that just really built my confidence. In the next year, when I became a senior, it was almost a shoe-in because I had performed, and I had showed the students what I could do for them. And so throughout my life, you know, she always said, you know, you can do whatever you set your mind to do. And I think when you have someone that tells you that, you believe it because you love them and you trust them, and you believe that what they're telling you is right. And she would always say, you know, work hard. When you have a job, don't get there on time. Be early, and just allow those encouraging. I guess in the position that I'm in now, while I was deputy executive director over the day of the operations, I certainly would say that Roger John was a mentor and a coach for me. I worked with him for 10 years. He was executive director. When I was a finance director, I wasn't sure if I wanted to move into a deputy position because I loved the job that I was responsible for in finance. I had a good team, but he convinced me that you know, this is a way that you could really broaden your skills. You know, you would be able to see the entire day-to-day operations. And I was up for a challenge, so I thought, okay, this could be a challenge. And I think because of that, I learned so much more about the housing authority operations, you know, than I thought I had a difficult job until I moved into the deputy executive director position.
Well, it sounds like you were blessed just as I was. Parental influence and motivation can really be a major factor in terms of how we turn out. And when you're talking about, well, do I want to run to be the class president because I might fail? As I tell people, it's better to fail trying to do something than be successful in doing nothing. And you never know until you try.
That's right.
And even if you do fail, it's not permanent in most cases. Most people that we see successful weren't always successful. Most millionaires went bankrupt a number of times before they finally became successful. Rachel, what about you? Were there any individuals or things that kind of motivated you?
I'd start again like Brenda with my mom just encouraging me when I was younger. She really raised us by herself. My dad passed away when I was going to be 6 that year, and there was
Okay.
6 of us, me being the youngest. I just watched her take care of us, and how even though we struggled, I'm sure we struggled, I had no idea that we were struggling or that we didn't have, you know, the money that a lot of other families had. I didn't really realize that, but she always encouraged me, and she has the sweetest personality that I know. I tell you, I've got the best mother in the world. And so just watching her and seeing how hard she worked, I always just wanted to be in a position where I could turn around and help her. And so I'm getting there where I can turn around and do things for her so that she can sit back, relax, and enjoy her life, even though she's been retired for some years. But in just going from job to job, when Brenda was talking about her looking at Roger John as what I found myself doing, especially when I worked at the bank in Oklahoma City, one of the ladies there that was one of the vice presidents, she'd always tell me that, first of all, she'd always tell me that she really liked me because she never knew when I was having a bad day. I always appeared to be, you know, good-natured type person. But she always also said that you should look and act for the position that you want, not the position that you have. And that just stuck with me. And so I found myself looking toward people that were successful in their particular career and kind of mirroring a lot of the things that they did that made them successful. And in that I learned how to put myself in certain positions or carry myself a certain way that helped me get to some of the places that I'm at today. But
Well, it sounds like both of you have at least identified a mother as being a very important influence.
very important.
And to me, I mean, even though you're executive director of the PHA with all of the millions of dollars and so forth, and you working with a school board where you've got millions of dollars, not only do you have, but you're even in debt more and so forth. But as important as those titles are, I don't think that there's anything any more important than being a good mother. Being a good mother. And for those who are watching tonight, even though they may not have your titles and their responsibility, they already have an awesome responsibility in raising children. Whether they're doing it by themselves or whether they're fortunate enough to have a man in the house or somebody there to help. But they can still succeed in being a good mother to encourage their kids to be all that they can be, to unlock their full potential. And you'll never forget it. I mean, you know, my mom, I probably spent more time with my mom. That's why I do a whole lot of cooking now and so forth. I wasn't conscious of it, but I used to watch her. I'd be in the kitchen with her, and I'd watch her cook. I'd have to clean up the kitchen. I'd have to do the dishes. I was an only child. And so a lot of the things she did, I learned how to do. But she certainly was a motivation, but I was also blessed to have a father who was just like a brother. And he joined me right after I ran for mayor in '97 and lost. I went home to get some R&R, and while I was there, he had a grand mal seizure, and I ended up bringing him to be with me. And he lived about 8 or 9 months after that, and as I tell people, those were the best years of my life. And I've done a lot of things. I've traveled and so forth. But